Welcome to the January Baller Call. Guys, I'm so excited to be with you guys. I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight for a few different reasons. A, I want to hug and squeeze and kiss your face. A. B, we haven't seen each other in so long, and I'm having withdrawals. Let's just be real. C, we have the most incredible woman tonight that agreed to speak. So you guys know last month I did an Instagram training. I was going to do a business building sponsoring training this month that I actually had written out that I saved for later because I had this overwhelming sense to ask Julie to speak. So for those of you guys that don't know Julie Tedder, she is on our team. She's been on our team for, gosh, I don't even know, 74 years, 6 years, 74-ish, 6-ish years, a long time. She's an OG. She's an Orange Status presenter. She has sold over $81,000, but that is not why I'm so proud of her and why I all of a sudden was like, you know what, she needs to speak. What was starting to happen, I've been trying to get really good at like stopping and listening to what the team needs and not necessarily like what I think everybody needs. And what I started finding is stories were being dredged up and circumstances were happening with quite a few people for all different reasons. You know, parents being sick, people passing away in lives, family situations, dynamics, relationship situations, marriages. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Life, right? But it all seemed to pile on at one time. And what kept coming to me constantly was Julie needs to speak. Julie needs to talk to them. Julie needs to talk to them. So Julie and I have known each other for a very long time. We were probably in the womb or something. I don't even know. And we've been through a lot together, a whole lot. We have seen things we probably shouldn't have seen. We have done things that probably two people shouldn't have done. And we probably have avoided arrest many times, I'm sure. But what I can say is I have seen her grow so incredibly much. And I'm going to say this without crying. I've seen her grow incredibly much. I have seen her grow from somebody who maybe wasn't stepping into her own greatness as much as she knew that she could for the pressure of other people around her. And she has chipped away at that in her own timing and in her own way. And that's what's most important, because being in a business like we're in, we're forward facing all the time, you know, with customers and camera and team and all of that stuff. And if you're forced into a box and you are literally a heart, you're not going to fit, right? And she leads her own way, and she's a natural born leader. She always has been, and she always will be. And just recently, I was listening to your live yesterday, Julie, and you're like, I'm not Julie 2.0. I'm still Julie. I'm just the awakened version. And so that like really rang true to me. So I'm going to shut my big fat mouth because the magic is going to come from her. And I'm so excited. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat. I'm sure she'll go back in. I am actually going to try to type for Brenda. So I'm going to mute myself and just let Julie take over. And I love you. And I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you said yes. I'm so, so glad.
What is my one rule with you? I don't say no.
I know.
Unless it's jumping out of planes. And then that's a hard no, but I know you'll say no too. So we're good.
I will say no too. Well, you know, I've been changing too. So we might just have to do that.
No, I'll just be on the ground holding your purse. It's fine. It's fine. No, but thank you for the opportunity. I was very flattered and kind of taken aback when you offered. So thank you. I want to start this off first by crying. No, I'm kidding. But that's going to happen. So we're just going to tell everybody that doesn't know me yet. I'm a crier. That's what I do. And that's okay. And that's what I've learned over the years is that's okay. But before I get started, I really want to thank Ruby, Kelly, Ashley, and Sean over the last almost 3 years COVID. Has it been 3 years with COVID? 2 years? I don't even know. How long have we been COVID? I don't know. This is really, it's been really tough on me. But it's been needed. So this is really when my breakthrough has come. And you guys have really just allowed me to go through that and loved me where I've been at. So I thank you for that. So I'm just gonna, in order to go forwards, we gotta we gotta kind of go backwards and not knock over our water. So I'm just gonna go back real quick and then we'll move forward. So like Sean said, I started about 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. And I did it because my oldest daughter was getting ready to go to college. Sherry and Sean were going to, gosh, I don't even know, was Chicago convention, I think. And like the day before Sherry left, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to pay for books? How are we going to do this? I don't know what we're going to do. Oh my God. And I'm like, should I just sign up and do it? Just, if I could pay for a book, which is like $50,000, that would be great. So we did it and, sign up in August, hit pink by September, blue in November, and just like guns a-blazing, and everything was exciting and fun, and it always is at the beginning, and it's refreshing and whatever, and you feel like you have a purpose and all these new people and these new friends, and everything is just so energized, right? And so you take that and you run with it as far as you can. And then you realize that, we always tell people that it's not just about makeup, like there's more. And people don't get it unless they're in it. Like only we understand that. So we start learning things about ourselves and what makes ourselves tick and what stops us from pushing harder or going further. And that's when I started hitting my roadblocks. Comparison has always been a huge issue in my life. Whether it be with, I grew up in a small town. My family has been in this town since the 30s. So how am I not going to be compared to people? Right? Or how am I not going to be identified as somebody's something? I was, the great niece of, the granddaughter of, the daughter of, the sister of. I was never just my own. The only time, and like we giggle, but the only time I was ever my own was when I won a local beauty pageant, which is why I have my crown. So I keep my crown handy because, you know what, damn it, it's something that I have that nobody in my family they ever did. And that is exactly like what my mother said to me. She's like, why do you want to do that? Sherry and I never did it. Bingo, exactly why I wanted to do it. It's exactly why I freaking wanted to do it. It's because nobody else did it. I wanted to be different. And I was, at first time I did a pageant, I was 15, Sean and I standing up there like, oh my God, if there's video footage somewhere. But anyway, so it's like, it's exactly why I wanted to do it. But then we lose ourselves in that again, right? So I was married young, a mom young, wrapped up in being a Navy wife, a mother, and then it turns into a law enforcement wife, and 2 kids, and your world is all about your kids. And my world was always about my family, and as it should be, right? You love your family, you love, you want nothing but good for your family. But we as women, we put ourselves last constantly. And something, because of things that happened in my childhood, I notice now looking back that has just been a pattern in my life, that I always put people that I love first. I always put them up front. And I think of, I said it in my live yesterday, when people call, like if I do something or say something and someone's response back to me is that I'm selfish, it destroys me, because someone doesn't, like that person doesn't realize how many ways I have already thought of how to approach a person or how to do something to not hurt somebody, to not hurt their, like I've already walked on 50,000 eggshells before I've even said something or before I've even done something, because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to make waves. I don't, like, whatever I can do to keep everything calm. And that all kind of ended for me 3 years ago when my dad unexpectedly passed. And it's funny because I catch myself, I refer to that a lot. I refer to my dad's passing, you know, and I've noticed this the last several months. I'll keep going back to that because his death was a rebirth for me. His death cut the cords on so many things that I wasn't expecting, that I wasn't ready for, that I didn't think I was ready for. He knew I was ready for it, right? Because that's why he left. I had a friend tell me right after he passed that he was going to be more use for me over on the other side than he was here in the physical form. And I have faith enough to know that he's wherever I am, you know? So I've held on to that, and I choose to see the signs. I choose to believe that he's with me, and I hear him, and I choose to hear him. And it's just, I'm now coming out of the other side knowing that he had to go so I could see the learned toxic behavior that I've picked up over the years, right? And one of the beautiful things that I learned through his death is at his service. And for me to stand here and talk to you all and not cry when I'm talking about him is huge growth for me. Not saying that crying is weakness when you talk about somebody that you love, because if you understood my relationship with my dad, and how close, like he and I had a spiritual bond. We have a spiritual bond, especially in the later years. But when I was little, like he and I had a really deep connection. For me to stand here and be able to talk about it without crying just shows the acceptance and the growth that I've made in this journey. God, is it hot in here? Holy cow. So I got a fan somewhere. Sorry, I'm going through the change. Holy cow. All right. Oh, I do have a fan. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Look at this. See, everybody get one on Amazon. Get one right now. You will not be sorry. You will not be sorry. Okay. All right. So, and I did take my ginkgo today, so I can actually remember what I was going to say. So one thing that I learned from his service is, you know, everybody always asks, you know, does anybody want to say anything? And, you know, you always hold your breath because what if nobody wants to say anything? And I wasn't going to say anything. And then my stupid sister got up and started saying things. And I'm just like, oh my God, how are you talking? And then I'm like crying even harder. I'm like, oh my God, stop talking. But these people that we didn't even know started talking about my dad and what he meant to them and what he did for them and how he spoke life into them. And what I recognized in that moment is that this might get me, is that that's the gift that he gave to me. I have the gift of speaking life into people. And I don't like saying that out loud because it sounds so conceited. But that's what I do. I can see things in others, and I can give you a list of names of people that I work with on the daily that I didn't give them the job, but I gave them the opportunity. I said, you need to apply for this job. You need to do this. No. Oh my God, you need to do this. And they're doing it because I see something in you that you can't see yet in yourself. And that's what my dad did. But he spoke it, like he did it in a way where people felt so loved and so valued, you know, and he wasn't a perfect man. I mean, none of us are, right? Okay, hot flash over. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was a close one. But it's like I started, he journaled. My dad journaled. And a lot of it had to do with the Bible and Bible verses. And then he would pray over us in his journals. So if there were things going on in the family, or, my husband with law enforcement or whatever, he would pray. Or if I had a friend that I would tell him about, was having a hard time, then we would find prayers and stuff in there. And it's not much different than like the gratitude journals and everything else, and the manifestations and that we preach about writing down. He was putting it in there. He was covering us all. He was manifesting this for us. And like it sunk in, but it didn't. And I just wallowed in this grief for a good 18 months. Like I couldn't snap out of it. But then I started on Facebook, not even thinking that it was like a journaling. I would post pictures of he and I, or memories or whatever, and I would just start writing it out. And people would comment below or just reach out to me, privately, and just say, oh my gosh, your words. It's like you're saying things that I feel, I just don't know how to put it into words. And a lot of us here, that are in our 20s times two, we were raised with parents that you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. But it does. And just because we talk about things, you can look at it one of two ways. Some people think if you talk about it, you're going to speak it into existence. Okay. But it's the intent behind it, right? So we can talk about it and we can move past and then leave it. And then we can talk about great things that are coming towards us. We can talk about painful things that happened, but we can still find gratitude in that. And in order to do that, we have to do it out loud. We have to do it with one another, because guaranteed, there's others out there, like Sean said, no matter what you're going through, there's others out there that are experiencing the same thing. Grief, marital issues, trouble with your teens, trouble with your adult children. Oh my God, can we talk about that someday? Loss of a pet, whatever. Broken nail right after you had a Manny and you freaking worked hard for that, running on that purple card, and you're pissed. Okay, whatever, you're having a bummer day. Talk about it. It's okay. Sometimes I get on my Facebook lives and I just rant for freaking 5-10 minutes in the parking lot of CVS because I freaking hate CVS. And all it does, it gets it off my chest and it cracks somebody up and they needed a laugh that day. But I'm living my life out loud. So the COVID didn't help, right? Keeps us bottled up, keeps us from seeing one another. I learned, like with Sean and I, her and I don't do good with distance. We live in the same freaking town. But because of COVID, we have to be careful, right? Because heaven forbid, my God, if anything happened with Christian, I would never forgive myself. But her and I need to be together. But we learned that. And then we've gotten past that. But it's all about learning. But unless you talk about it, you're not going to solve things. You're just going to sit in your own misery and you're not going to move forward. I made a couple notes. I don't know. Sometimes I go crazy, but sometimes I find like little things and I got all excited. What I did find out when my dad died is that my whole identity has been attached to other people. Like I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know where I was supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do with this life, and I felt a lot of pressure that I needed to know. And so that was part of my spiral, that I just felt like this lost little puppy out in the middle of nowhere with no direction whatsoever. And I know I needed to do the work and dig down deep, but I was so scared of what I'd find. And so I opened up a journal one day. I don't even remember where we were when I did it. We did some retreat or something. Maybe it was the last time we were in Utah. We had to bring a little picture, like of our little selves. And so here I am, freaking toothless, out in our front yard with a Dorothy Hamill bowl haircut. And I'm like, ah, with my overalls on, with the plaid shirt under that I'll never forget because Sherry had a matching one. And she hated when my mom bought us matching clothes. Hated it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever because she's older than me. I will always say that. 6 years older than me. And she hated looking like her little sister. I loved it. Thought it was the coolest thing ever. So here I am, toothless out in the front yard. And I thought, oh my God, there she is. There's my joy, right? I got to find her again. So I spent all this time, right, trying to find that joy, that feeling inside. And I kind of got lost in that. And then I gave up. And I reconnected with an old friend. And my friend kept talking about how sweet I am, how tender I am, and how kind my heart has always been. And that it took someone that I hadn't talked to in a very long time, which is horrible, right? I should believe the people that I talk to all the time. But sometimes it takes that outside person to come in. Takes the right person, I guess. And like there was this little light inside of me that I caught a glimmer of. And I realized that all these years of putting myself last, of not talking about how I feel, of not doing things for me, of putting everybody else before my own needs, all I did was build up walls. If there's anyone on here that is a first responder wife, military, like we're on go. We don't have time for to worry about anything else. We've got to take care of things here because we can't have our loved one out on the streets or in another country worrying about what's going on at home. So I had built up this wall and I could feel it. Like I could feel a physical wall inside of me with a light shining inside. And it was like a brick inside of me. And if I wouldn't have had that conversation with my friend, I don't know if I would have, I don't know when that light would have come back on. And it was that moment that I said, I'm done. I'm done. In order for me to have a happy home, in order for me to have happy girls, in order for me to have a healthy relationship with whomever I choose, friends, loved ones, whatever, whomever I choose, I have to be happy inside myself. And my friend even said, my friend said, it bothers me when people say, oh, he makes me so happy or she makes me so happy. No, you need to be happy inside. And I'm like, okay, what are you in my head? Because as soon as you said that, that's what I thought. Like, no, you need to be happy inside. And then my head said, who are you to talk, Julie? Like, what, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like having these conversations in my head. But I'm like, it was like me talking to me. And it was the most surreal moment I've had in such a long time. And it's, I just, if we don't do what's right for us inside, and it sounds like such a fucking selfish thing, but if we don't do what's right, then nobody around us is going to be happy. And we've got to get to the point to where we come first. Now, in my life, God will always come first. I'm going to come second. Okay? I'm going to come second because I deserve that. Because at the end of the day, the number one person that I can rely on without a shadow of a doubt is me. Me. So I'm going to take care of me. But I'm going to let others know that that's okay. And everybody else around me, you're either going to level up with me, and you don't have to do it at the same time. I'm not going to just leave you. But if you hang out down here for too long, I'll see you when you get here. But in that meantime, you have to talk, because maybe this person down here is where you were. Maybe this person down here is where I was 3 years ago when I lost my dad. Maybe this person likes being down here and never wants to get to here. And that's okay too. You know why? That's their choice. We can't fix people. We can't, we can't make it right with everybody, but we can talk about it. We can get people thinking. We can live our lives as big as we want to live them and make it as great as we want to make it. But nobody's going to make it great for me. Nobody is going to make me drink my 6th glass of water. Drink half your weight. Do those MFers know how much I weigh? Half my weight. Come on. But anyway, nobody's going to make me drink the water. Nobody's going to make me happy but me. So stop, do the work inside. Because until you do that, you're not going to go anywhere. Everything's just going to be fleeting, one time, flash in the pan, and then it's gone. Do the work. You're worth it. I'm worth it. Hell yeah, I'm worth it. And I was telling, I don't know, I was telling Ruby, Ashley, Sean, Kelly, probably a couple other you, I don't know, that it's, like I said, it's not Julie 2.0. It's not Julie's back. It's not, I can't, I'm going to go back to it. I was chemically changed. I felt a chemical change inside of me when my dad died. It actually really did chemically change me, because it threw me straight into menopause. There was no peri. There was no hanging out anywhere. I mean, my doctor's like, no, get the blood report back. They're like, oh, hell. Yeah, told you. Straight menopause. Okay. That's where I'm hanging out now. I'm in menopause land. It chemically changed me. So however that felt negative, that is exactly where I'm at right now in the positive. And I know that times it ebbs and flows, but I'm better equipped now, even more so than I already thought I was. I've been through some shit in my life. I have been through am going through some pretty heavy stuff in my life. but I'm better equipped. And before, I would let the littlest things stop me in my tracks. I would like, I would just, something major would happen. Oh, stop. No, dad died. I can't post about makeup on Facebook. That's just poor taste. I can't sell makeup when my dad's being buried. I can't, oh my gosh. My cat ran away. I can't have makeup because I had to look for my cat. And, oh my God, I didn't get my roots done. I can't post makeup. Oh my God, I farted twice. Oh shit, can't, whatever. I mean, whatever the excuse was, I had it. So 2 weeks ago, for myself, I went and did a boudoir photo shoot. Did it for me. Spent the night at the house that they did it at, just by myself. It was amazing. Did some meditations, had some unfreaking mind-blowing aha moments. I mean, like, literally, Sean got like, she's like trying to have time with her husband, and I'm like blowing up her phone with all these voice texts. I'm like, too bad. Hi, Matt. Here we go. Like, really shook me moments in meditation. And I'm forever grateful for that. And not even 2 days later, not even, something upended my world. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop. And I'm not gonna. Because I'm worth it. Because I've got plans. Because that little light that was found inside me is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I close my eyes at night and I meditate, I can see it. And it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And the world's going to get sick of me, y'all, because it's coming. And yours is too. You've just got to choose yourself. You've got to love who you are, where you are, but then love yourself enough to move up, to move past. And that's why we're all here together. And like I said, that's my superpower, is seeing things in others that they can't see themselves. It took me 6 years plus 40 to find in me what I needed to find, but it was my time. I had a knowing. And I always told Sean and my other girlfriends, like, I would know, I'm going to know when it's time. And I have a very good intuition. I'm going to know when it's time, and it's time for me. So I'm going to shut up, but I found this. So everything's, nothing's coincidence ever. Right. And so on my Facebook today, when I'm listening to the Unique Foundation and all that stuff, I go back to work to be productive. And I see this, and it says, you are the most constant thing in your own life. Befriend yourself first. Invest in yourself first. Become yourself first. The rest will come together in time. Expect the unexpected. I'm ready for the unexpected. I love you, girls.
Girlfriend. Woo! Chills. Just chills. Massive chills. Okay, I want to open it up. Thoughts, emotions, aha moments,
Butt clench.
butt clenches, farts, all the things. All the things. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you. It's just
Julie. Is
Yes.
it open now for
yeah,
chit-chatting?
go for it, Teresa. It's Teresa. Go for it.
First of all, I just love you already. I've never seen you, never heard of you, but I'm so relating to your message tonight. And it's really confirmation, because I have been studying. I'm chewing at the same time, girls. So if you
All
hear like, that's me chewing. Anyhow, I've been studying the word about just like you were saying about the power of being able to give someone life with your words, you know, speaking over people and encouraging them, and the power in what we think, what we say, and how, you know, God, and I'm a believer, so I don't want to like offend anybody, but in the word, it says God created this world with a word.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how much power is in our words
Right.
and our thoughts. And just, you know, when you're saying you're finding yourself and it's your time and you will know in your intuition, it's the same. Like, I think it's the same thing I'm experiencing in a different, you know, situation, but how I'm learning, there's so much power in our words and what we speak over ourselves, what we tell ourselves. So, you know, if you're telling yourself, oh, you know, this isn't my time, or I can't do that because, you know, Sean does it this way and I'm not that good, or whatever, and the comparison and all that kind of thing, what we're speaking over ourselves and telling ourselves, there's so much power in that. I mean, it's just like, was it like an aha moment? Like, I've heard it a million times, but just recently, and like this last week, it's like, it really, really, really has power. So speak things over ourselves. You know, it's not selfish to say, I am worthy and I am, you know, this wonderful person that has a lot to offer the world. And so I just love that you said that it's not selfish to put yourself, and I would put myself second also, God first, then me, but, and then we get to bless other people when we're, you know, practicing those things, because you
Right.
can't really be happy or bless other people. Anyway, I could go on and on
No.
forever, but thank you.
No, thank
It was
you.
so good, but now I'll shut up.
No, you're fine. But that's the truth, you know, and, you know, a lot of times I had a friend tell me recently, you know, when you go to move forward from a negative situation, negative mindset, you're not going to be able to move forward until you can move forward in gratitude. So that's why even talking about bad situations, or if you're unhappy, you know, in your job or your relationship or whatever, you still need to come. You can't release it until you come from a place of gratitude. So in everything, there's a lesson. And I've always been a firm believer of that. And, you know, in all things, there's a lesson. And when shit hits the fan, that's when we, you know, I love having you type all this out, Sean. when shit hits the fan, that's when we really grow and learn. Because that's when we listen. Because when things are great, like, who cares? Who cares, right? So it's interesting for me right now, to be pushing past and not succumbing to my little dark hole while I'm going through something. And so I'm learning and living at the same time.
Yes, that is like the perfect statement.
Yeah.
The perfect statement. Your reaction, completely different.
Yeah. And there's a calm about it.
Mhm.
And so where there used to be an uneasiness before, because there was a tug of war. There was just like a complete, there's a like
Yeah,
there's
for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Okay. Anyone else have a moment where you're like, holy crap?
I could just relate to everything that you were saying. I feel, you know, how you feel gravitated towards people that are really like you. I mean, of course, you know, you're all the way in California and I'm a Midwestern, Southern, whatever you want to call it, girl. I relate to so much that you say it. And actually, when you started speaking, my mind just started going, and I wrote all these little notes here at the top of my calendar for the week. They say, I am worthy. I can do hard things. I can help women believe in themselves again. I can build a successful team of women to help other women. I believe in me.
That's
And they
awesome.
just started going, and I just couldn't stop writing it. It just kept coming.
I love that.
And I just appreciate you. And
Oh.
I know what you're talking about, that light. Like, I got home Saturday from a week-long trip with work, was tired, but I
Where
still
you got
had
to hug my Ashley before you even got on the plane.
I know, it was the
Oh,
first time
so
I
jealous.
ever met her in person.
She's the best.
It was so great. And so I get back, and just between Saturday night, Sunday, working to finish all of my tasks to get it done, because I said I was going to do it. I was going to do it. And I did. And I'm just learning to do the hard things. I have like a mental block sometimes.
Mhm.
And, sometimes I'm a person who puts themselves under pressure in order to get stuff done, because that's when I do my best work. But I don't like that about me. I want to
I'm right
do
there with
it.
you.
I want to do it like because I am doing it. And so that's what I'm learning. And when you said that little spark of light, that's what I feel like. As soon as we got on this call, I started getting messages about collagen, and I was like, you guys need to go away, but I don't want you to.
They'll be there. It's okay to take 20. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm talking, but it's okay to take 20, 30 minutes. And that's like, I think that's something that we get all caught up in, like, oh my God, if I don't respond right now, oh my God. And then you get that, it gets you just so like twisted. Guess what?
Yeah.
They're still going to be there. Hey, sorry, just got back from me time. Oh, me time. What's that? Oh my gosh, girl, you should try it sometime, whatever.
Well, that's how I
Like,
relate to you as people pleaser.
yeah.
And that comes, I talked to Sean about that over the last couple of weeks, being a people pleaser. And, I said that one day to someone, and they were like, I don't see you as a people pleaser. And I'm like, you're a taker.
Yeah,
So
that's why you don't
Totally.
get it,
That's
Yeah.
why you don't see it.
So I was reading an article the other day, and it was funny because then literally the next day I'm having a conversation with my sister, and she's like, oh my God, I just read this article. I'm like, okay, if it's the same article, I'm like, and
Different reaction.
she's like, okay, so like when you grow up, our dad had a very bad accident when we were young. And so it was a big childhood trauma for both of us in different ways. And she's like, people that grow up with, traumas or whatever, you people please and are like I'm a huge empath. I'm very, very empathic. I feel all the feels. And a lot of times I don't know whose is whose, mine or theirs, whatever. And so she's like, yeah, like empaths, when you walk into a room, you don't look for like the happiest person, you look for the hurt person, because you want to figure out like, how are you going to make them happy, or how, you like the eggshells, like, oh, don't want to get them upset. Oh, those are the ones that you're attracted to. And I'm like, as I'm reading the article, I'm like reading the article going, fuck you. Hey, honey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? What's up? And then my sister's telling me, I'm like, yeah, I know. Same article, no coincidences. But it's like, that's what we do, right? That's what people pleasers do. We try to figure out what the issues are going to be before they happen, so we can just handle it. We can just get it done, or we can fix it before it happens. And then what does that do? Anxiety, depression. It makes us a freaking basket case.
Anyways, I just wanted you to know how much I really appreciated this tonight.
Well, I appreciate you and you taking the time. I really do.
I love it. Okay, we have time for one more person. Uno más. Uno más. Uno más.
We're not. That's okay.
Julie, I heard you.
Well, I don't, no pressure.
I heard
I'll
you.
say something. Hey, if somebody would have told us earlier today not to wear makeup,
Surprise. Vanessa, you wanted to say something?
I was like, I guess they didn't hear me. Woo!
I heard
Okay,
you
I
guys.
went
You guys opened up at the same time.
I thought I was saved for a second. I was like, okay, I can back up here for a second.
Not backing up.
I was
Not backing
hoping,
up.
I was hoping you'd unmute.
Really? Okay. Anyway, Julie, like everything you said was just what I needed to hear right now. So I'm just wanted to let you know that I'm one of those people you're talking about, finding that sad person and speaking life into them. And that was very helpful for me in my current
Good.
situation. So thank you very much.
Well, hang in there. Like my dad used to always tell me, and I didn't realize he always told me this until after he died. And then every card, every whatever. Okay, I'm retaining water today, which doesn't make sense because I've drank like 10 of these. But I don't know if you can see it, but it says, hold on. So that's what he'd always tell me to do. Hold on. That's all you got to do. Hold on. You'll get past this. And just find your light.
Nothing
It's
is
there.
permanent. Nothing is permanent.
Nope. No, that's why we got to focus within. Because all this external bullshit, it's exactly what it is. It's just bullshit. It's noise. You're
I'm
here.
just so thankful for Unique and just changing like my view on myself. And
Amen.
I mean, not just like Unique, but you know, like all of
No,
you.
that
And
we get it. You don't have to explain it to us. We get it.
yeah, you guys get it. You get
We get
it.
I know I was
Um,
answering some messages for two of the brand new girls, and they're like, I'm not like, and I think I was talking to, I won't call anybody out, but there's two people on this call was also talking to this about that you might not be in the point of your business where you're emotionally driven by something or emotionally like have a hang up. I wasn't either, you guys. I wasn't either. I went years and years and years and years that I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine.
We broke her.
Right. Until I didn't like do any, like I hit a wall. I mean, I just hit a wall. And I started, doing personal development and realized that all of my behaviors and all of my actions, even though I thought I'm fine, had to do with like daddy issues from forever ago that just kept dredging up. And that's the reason why I did the things I wanted. That's the reason why I did the things I did, because I was constantly in this survival cycle mode of, because that's literally what I had to do when I was growing up. Survive, survive, survive. And so if you guys are listening to anybody's story and you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I broken or is something wrong with me because I'm not there yet? You are not. You are not. You might, this is just, think of this as like a big tool bag where not like a tool bag, like that guy's a tool bag, but as a brush holding bag or whatever. Think of it as like a purse, a designer purse, all right? That you put all of this stuff in. Yes, Mary Poppins bag, Jules. You put all of your things in and you pull them out when you need them. Sometimes you'll need a lot of them. Sometimes you'll need none of them. And sometimes you'll need them to give to somebody else. That is the biggest thing, because like Julie was saying, people can tell you and try to guide you and hint to you. And it takes somebody that isn't in your immediate circle sometimes just to go, oh, and say something like that happened to Julie.
I was just going to say that. That's what my aha moment was you were talking about speaking to your friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time. And I didn't do that, but I've been speaking to a therapist for a year now. And it has just really helped me so much.
Therapy's the
And
best.
just talking about your crap out loud to somebody who has no emotional connection to you is just like been so good, like so good. But I mean, I know that Unique like helped me get there. I just always felt like I was tough enough. Like I didn't need anything like that, and
going to therapy doesn't make you weak.
No.
No,
one
it
of the-
doesn't. But I just,
Listen, I'm one of the toughest. Listen, this hair can go up and these hoops can come off in 2.2 seconds. I can be a real asshole. Going to therapy doesn't make you weak. Crying doesn't make you weak. It just, all of this stuff just gives you a better understanding about humans, you know? So then you can teach somebody else. Like I taught my girls, if someone's coming at them at school, why? What's going on in that kid's life? What's where, you know, let's find out what's going on. Maybe I need to make a call to the school to find out so they can dig a little deeper. Turns out the girl's dad left the mom for the best friend, and now they're living in somebody's garage, and the girl's getting her brand new clothes for the new school year from Goodwill. And one of the little rich girls, oh, that looks like one of my old shirts, and started picking on her. So then she chose my kid, who shows up with new clothes. Oh yeah, oh, you don't remember this? When I was in 8th grade. Oh yeah, I was ready to go. But then I found out the real reason why she was doing it, and then I felt bad. So then, you know, then that's when we circle the wagons and we come in and we help. But if we don't talk about our things, we can't circle the wagons. So we got to live out loud so we know we're not alone.
Because the minute you guys do, I mean,
I don't need to know all the details.
I am the keeper of a lot of things, like within like the team structure, right? A lot of personal things. And I can very confidently say there's probably about 25 of you guys right now going through the same exact thing that is incredibly similar. And the minute that you tell your story, or the minute that you, you know, just reach out, you, like Julie said, you will not be alone. I mean, there's a lot of you guys doing the same thing right now.
Well, and you don't have to dig deep. You don't have to shout it out like, hey, you know.
And it doesn't have to be like a monumental thing. You could literally be like, I'm literally petrified to go live. That could be your big thing. Or it could be something along the scale of your life, that something that's monumental changes. Could be anything in between. But
Don't quit on yourself.
God, no. God knows. I had a brand new person. She signed up and then she was so excited and she said, okay, I'm going to do it. Then she goes, I literally can't. You look so like perfect. You're confident. You're putting on your things. I go, can I send you a video? Can I send you a video of when I first started doing this? I go, I fub up still all the time. Like,
can I send you the 50 pictures I took Thursday night of my collagen?
Right. Or my eyeball literally like that. I'm like, buy my mascara. Like, really? What is that? Who does that? I'm not joking, you guys. I literally held the phone like this. I'm okay. And then we got a clue that you could do this and then zoom in. I'm all, oh, I don't have to do this. I mean, so dumb. Okay, that's funny. That's funny we brought that up because I was looking, we used to be called Shining Light Beauties years and years and years ago. And we had a totally different team page. I was looking in that team page for an old video that somebody had needed. And so I put in the topic or whatever, and it popped up. The training videos in there, or when I was like brand new, are the most weak, meandering, like, hi guys, thanks, it's Wednesday, thanks for coming. I'm like, I showed my husband, I go, who is this church mouse? I'd never remembered myself like that before, but it was before that light that Julie was talking about, that you don't give two rips. I don't give two rips. Like, it just happens. So you become who you truly are.
Jules, I don't have selfies from before. Oh my God, my niece. I'll never forget when I first started. Aunt Julie, so many selfies. Oh yeah, I can't go look at your mom's phone.
Yeah.
Get out of my phone.
Who's that, Caitlin?
Get out of my. This is Caitlin. Well, get out of my phone.
Hey, lady.
Get out of here. Stop it. Yes, I have a lot of selfies. Whatever. But anyway, you girls are awesome. Thank you for letting me do this.
So funny. Okay, I'm gonna close. You guys know that I always pull a little excerpt from Light is the New Black. So this one was very appropriate. It says, you weren't born for the sidelines. You were not born for the sidelines, for the nosebleeders or the wings. Raise the curtain, take the microphone. There's a song for you to sing. Oh, it's a rhyme. And you were born with, of course it's a rhyme because Julie's a poet. You were born with a message. You have something important to share. Instead of resisting your soul's yearnings, make your life one big moving prayer. Stop waiting for permission. Don't pretend to be blind. Don't compare yourself to others. You are one of a very unique kind. Your spot at the table is waiting. Your seat has always been assigned. Now take a breath, a good old leap, and get ready to shine. Come out from the sidelines, from the nosebleeders and the wings. Raise the curtain, take the stage. Your soul's song you need to sing. I love that feelings. Don't have me sing. Stop waiting for permission. I'll take a picture of this, you guys, and post it into the chats.
I'm gonna wear my crown for the rest of the night.
You need to, actually. You totally need
Me
to.
too. I'm gonna go tell my husband and kids, bow down, bitches.
Yeah, just be like, go out there and go, what's for dinner, everybody?
And
What'd y'all cook? They're all gonna look at you with blank face. I'm going out.
right.
Chick-fil-A
All right.
time. All right, guys. Love you. When this posts to YouTube, my computer's really slow, but when that happens, I will share it in the chats. Thank you so much. Just to remind you guys, the next baller call is the 22nd with Tori Poulter at 5:30 Pacific time. Note the time change. I know, I'm so excited. Note the time change because we did talk about a different date and she's actually going on a trip with her husband and we can move it. I know, she's like, Sean, that's literally Gunnar, the only thing Gunnar has planned, so I gotta go. I'm like, no, go. Where'd go? That's your priority. We come second. That's perfect. Just what our lesson for tonight was. So for this one is a little bit different, you guys. You need to hit 500 by the 15th. So that's the way the cadence is going to roll out. And we've actually partnered up with, there's 12 of us that are taking turns, either getting a speaker or being the speaker. So you guys will have just a huge array of different kinds of trainings from different kinds of leaders. And it just won't be like us on this team. So I believe in that because overlapping leadership is important. And yeah, so 500 by the 15th, I'm going to open up a new chat tomorrow. So we didn't get everything mixed up. I know this month was a little wonky because we kind of had a lot going on. Yes, Krista, it's so helpful. I'm super relieved for the help. So I think it'll be really great. And Julie, thank you again so much.
Oh, thank you.
I need to stop saying I'm so proud of you, but you're just setting the pace for so many people. And that's super cool.
Thank you.
Super cool.
It's time.
It is time. It is time. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. Thanks again, you guys. Have a fantastic night. And I will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.